Peace family, definitely glad to be back with another one. This time we're going to be looking at Mystikal, one of the rounds out the tank. So Mystikal definitely made a huge impression with No Limit. Family joined No Limit. You know, some of his story has been documented on the Chronicles with how he was signed with another label prior. And, you know, P sort of put together something to help him get out of the deal and come to No Limit and stuff. So he definitely had a good impact on the tank. I think he was one of the hardest lieutenants on the tank. We joined with OG Fly, fellow No Limit aficionado. What's good, fam?
Yo, brother. Big up, brother, man. Blessings.
Peace, family. Welcome to BoutThatOnline.com, your one-stop shop for the highest hip-hop edutainment. Bringing you the dopest No Limit interviews, hip-hop legends, reviews, views, news, and more. So if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be updated on new drops and content.
Yes, sir, man. So, definitely, man, I know, especially we have a lot of conversations, you know, off the record, on the record, especially when it comes to No Limit and stuff. So you've definitely graced us with your opinions on some stuff before, so it's definitely good to have you on this segment where we're going to be looking at some of the soldiers from the tank, and we're going to be starting it out with the man right here.
Yeah. Yeah, Mystikal, legend. You know, the ones there. He's got to be called a legend because No Limit had such a legacy, and for such a standout guy to be so big as he was on such a big label with so many artists, he's a legend.
So I mean, what was your first do you remember the first song you heard Mystikal on?
Oh wow, that's, you know what, because I had a little tape that I first heard of No Limit. When I first heard them, I think it was actually the Soldier song that's on Silk the Shockers' Charge It to the Game. Oh nigga, what? We soldiers.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the C one. It's We No Limit. So I can't even remember, but the one on Silk's album though, that's the first time I heard Mystikal. So I heard a lot of them at the same time.
Okay. So you know, Mystikal and Silk, you mentioned some of their work that they done together. Obviously, you know, It Ain't My Fault, huge hit single. Jeez. Ain't My Fault 2 was ultimately. I mean, what do you think the difference between the Ain't My Fault 1 and 2?
I like Ain't My Fault 1 because it's just more raw. The whole sound of it's more raw. You know, the ones there. But I do like number 2 as well. But it's fire, and almost anything Mystikal touches is fire. But I'm not too big on remixes anyway. Like number 1 was done.
Yeah. I mean, you know, No Limit. I think a few times they pulled it off with sort of remixing or flipping it. C Murder had one like that. That club banger.
You know the deal. Yeah. We fucks for real.
And you know, I always thought the part 2, you know, I jammed that. I don't want to say more than the part 1 because they were both jamming, but it was a hard one to call, you know. So
I'm with you. I played them back to back, and I've kind of got a favor in for part 2 as well, my bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, sticking with Mystikal, he definitely kept, you know, a solid impression on a lot of the features, featured on a multitude of albums, you know, on almost everybody's album. And to me personally, when I saw Mystikal's name, it was always like, I know there was going to be a dope verse, a dope feature. I'm going to hear something that I haven't heard before. With all due respect to a lot of the other rappers, you know, because for the most part, I think everybody was tight. But some artists may have, you know, used repetitive things or stuff, just as artists go generally. But Mystikal, he generally came with something, you know, fresh on every track. So, you know, I remember even the P's album, The Last Done, and you got the, you know, Soldiers, G's and Riders, and, you know, tracks like that. And, you know, Mystikal and Snoop, when they were putting together on some of the tracks, even though it don't matter who was with as like accompanying on the track, I always thought he put it down. Now, you know, his first album that he dropped with No Limit.
Hold on. No, Mind of Mystikal was first. Which was first? Which one was the Mind of Mystikal?
But the first No Limit one was Unpredictable.
Unpredictable, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
fire, man. Everything he touched, everything he it was Mind of Mystikal, did we say?
I mean, Mind the Mystical was the album he dropped prior to.
That was before it, yeah. Then
So
he had
it was-
Unpredictable, and he had that video that, yeah, that was fire. And I think every verse, he was like a rookie. That was just fire.
I mean, Born to Be a Soldier. What a way to kick the album off. You know, we mentioned part ones and part twos. This debut, you know, it had Still Smoking, which was, you know, something else that he continued on and had a version. I know.
Yeah, that
Ghetto Fabulous.
That was a theme. Yeah, that was a theme for him. Yeah, that was good to keep that going. I look forward to hearing that again.
Yeah, like Mystikal is, you know, super creative. You know, another standout on here was a song that he did with Master P and Snoop Dogg. Now, I'm not sure if that was the first song that Snoop and P had done together, but, you know, one of the songs that they had done together was ultimately what led to Snoop signing with No Limit. It's been reported.
Okay.
You know, just maybe in the meeting and stuff. That's why when you hear Snoop World and P say, they say life is like a fairy tale. Did a song with Snoop Dogg and it turned into a business deal. But it ain't about the ends. Cause we all got mentions and we all dropped it. So shout to the Colonel, but so yeah, but you know, back to this Mystikal album, even that P, he featured on the song with Snoop Dogg Gangsters and also Ghetto Child with Silk the Chocolate, which is another big tune. And you know,
definitely,
obviously, there's a track with E40 and Be Legit as well. Here We Go, which is dope in that too.
Yeah, that was a banging shit to hear. Them features would have been good. He did, and it was good to hear that as well. Yeah, man, Mystikal was fire next to everybody. Nobody outshined him. You know, them ones there. He was just, man. It was always exciting to not hear when Mystikal's on a track. That track he did on Mr. Servon's album, Life Insurance, hustling day and night, brother, man. Like, he just explodes on that, man. He explodes.
Prime Suspects album.
Stop.
Liquidation of the Ghetto, you know what I mean?
Come on, man.
Or is it Liquidation of the Streets? I don't know. No, Liquidation of the Ghetto. Consequences is of the Streets. Yeah, you know. I'll be jamming that Prime Suspects album. Here's the thing, I'll be talking about all these other soldiers on Mystikal, but that's how you get with No Limit, because you got a wide array and roster. One of the albums Mystikal would have collaborated that people would have loved to have heard was the original 504 Boys advertised with Master P and Silk the Shocker, with those guys as G Money, Nino Brown, and V.O.
I was looking forward to seeing for both of them to come out. Yeah, disappointing that it didn't, but yeah, that would have been some fire. Mystikal brings the best out of Silk. When they're together, there's some chemistry right there.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we mentioned It Ain't My Fault.
Yeah,
you know, that was just a straight banger. Just them going back to back,
bugging out.
You know,
yeah, just bugging out on it. Definitely. That's why, like, again, I say, like, when that hype that Mystikal brings to it, like, and it made Silk bring another hype to it. But Mystikal, it goes to show he brings the best out of people that's around him. So that's a legend right there. That track was fire.